Hey guys, how's it going? It's Eugenius here. Welcome to episode number 11 of this NHL 22 Quebec Nordiques franchise mode here, where we moved the Arizona Coyotes up from Arizona back to Quebec City. Wow, I butchered that. Today we are getting into the 2023/24 off-season re-signing phase, free agency, all those good things. And, well, we do have some contracts to go through, but before we get into that, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, also subscribe if you haven't. Click the link to check out Yard Sale Hockey. That's my merchandise that you can see right here. And, yeah, any help, any purchases, any likes even supports this channel and really helps get this video and my merch and everything out to new people. So keep crushing it, guys. I love the amount of growth we're seeing on my channel right now, and I am so appreciative of it all. So getting into some comments here, we have got a couple from 2 episodes ago that I didn't quite get to in time. The first one came from Jaden Pletz saying, trade Tuukka Rask as he is still high overall and he's getting up there in age, and in the offseason you can get a new backup goalie. I think you can get something decent for him. So Tuukka Rask is one of our trade targets, or one of our potential moves that we're going to make to move out of the team. Another one came from Brooks Beach saying, trade Tarasenko, Bedard will fulfill the spot and you will have Thorson, Wright both on line 2 and Bedard on line 1. And then they edited saying you will probably get something back for him as well. So that's another great one. And then we had 2 more comments here. The first one came from Cheesify saying maybe you should try trading Gaucher for Shanahan and assets. And I was like, well, we kind of traded Shanahan or Gaucher to Nashville already. But we could potentially try to trade for Shanahan. I don't know if we really need more defensive prospects. When we look at the team, we're in a pretty good position defensively at the moment. We drafted some fantastic players, but maybe we move like Jody Ma or somebody like that. Simply based on the fact that, we have Bouwmeester who's going to be a good fit. I'm not so sure how good Ma is going to be, if he's going to develop or not. Apart from that, we got Chelios, we got Morrissey, we got some really good potential defensemen in here. Not saying that they're actually going to turn out, because we all know how goaltending goes, or all know how defense develops. It's all over the place. But yeah, we could potentially go after Shanahan. And then the final comment here came from ZDogYX saying you should trade for Brendan Dillon from Winnipeg. He's a solid defenseman. So we've got a couple trade targets defensively. Shanahan could be a really good pickup, even though he is drafted by Toronto. So I love the immediate revenge plot to go back against Toronto. Be like, hey, can we offer you a worse defenseman for your somewhat decent defenseman? That's potentially a move we're going to make. I'm actually really excited to try and do that. And then we've got assets to offer in return as far as Tarasenko and Rask go. I don't know if we're going to necessarily try to move those guys, but we're going to get into it here and see what happens. So the offseason is now commencing. We're going to go into the re-sign phase. I don't know if we actually have any scouts or coaches that need re-signing, but we do have some other players like Giroux and Hayton and a couple others here. So Claude Giroux looking at a $7.075 million contract. If we put the rule of 85 on that, it's a $6 million deal. He wants 7.203, which would be, I think we offer him about 6.5 on this 7.2 mil. Give him 2 more years there, because not gonna lie, Bedard and Wright are developing very well, but we don't have to pay both of them yet. Barrett Hayton looking a little pricey too. Okay, he has been playing extremely well, to be fair, but at the rule of 85, we're looking at a $5.6525 million deal, and I think just a $6 million right across the board would be fair for Hayton. I think he is developing very well as a center for us, and I think we should pay him. Jesse Puljujarvi wants $5 million for the next 2 years. If we're moving Tarasenko, that's a doable deal. I think we can do that. I don't think I'm going to lowball Puljujarvi at all there. I don't think we need to. And then $5.5 million for Soderstrom. Little expensive, but not super crazy. And it is for 5 years, too. And rule of 85 would say that's a $4.72 million contract, which we could absolutely do for Soderstrom. I think he is, again, developing extremely well for us, and, well, we're going to try to get him into the team. Unfortunately, yeah, Jacob Larsson, sorry. We cannot afford to pay that much money. It's too bad because he has been a really good defenseman for us, but we're going to have to go out and find a replacement piece or something along those lines. Eric Stahl, on the other hand, he's going to be a good player that we definitely need to bring back. And, of course, Peter Kubina, he's going to get a contract offer immediately. Same with Byron Potty, as he could be a very good left winger for us moving forward, as he's got quick pick on there too. So that's exciting. Joe Pavelski does want to re-sign, but only wants $1 million, so we can really stack out our system here if we want to. I don't think that would necessarily be a bad idea, but at the same time, other guys like Ed Bomeister are going to sit for a year or two to develop. So yeah, we have some space and roster movement to play around with here. We'll sign a whole bunch of these guys. Ortiz is going to be another guy that we bring into the team that wasn't here last year. We just drafted him. So yeah, Yaskin will re-sign. Ortiz, I think he's going to do just fine. We're going to put him on about as strong a line as we can. But he might even end up in the NHL. Not going to lie. I don't know if we're going to end up getting him right away here first year. Although he did put up 65 points in 68 games. So yeah, that should be exciting. And let's do Pavelski and Sammy Blais as well. So maybe we'll give Ortiz a shot this year. I think that would be a pretty decent idea. Apart from that, Cam Denis doesn't want to play for us anymore. That's okay. We'll sign up Kamel, and we'll sign up Silvegaard. And those guys will both have opportunity to play here. Lazowski obviously is going to get a contract as well. So we have tons of prospects too. I'm now realizing how many we actually have. And it's good, but at the same time, it is almost oversaturated in certain positions, like center. So we'll see how this plays out moving forward. We're going to sign, is it Gabe? Yeah, Gabriel Morrissey. We're going to sign him. Who else? Tim Bodie was looking really good. I'm excited for him. We'll see if any of these other lower-end kind of guys develop. I would be absolutely over the moon if guys like Cam Beats, Winquist, or Powell actually do grow, because then that will just be steals for this team. But again, we're going to leave them with time to develop, and other guys we're probably not going to sign. Unfortunately, a guy like Ian Crane here just did not develop, put up 57 points as well. That's a really good AHL season, and just didn't put it together and translate to any growth. So can't tell you why that happened. It's unfortunate, but we're going to have to deal with it here. So I don't know if we're going to see too many other signings here. We're going to put some pretty low ball contracts on certain guys here. And to be completely honest, we might have to buy out certain players too. So we can't even trade Tuukka Rask at the moment simply because he's not really looking all that spectacular, to be completely honest. Like, we're going to have to pay him, most likely, if we want to do a sign and trade. We're going to give Coronar a contract because he is 26. Tendek as well, I think, wouldn't be a bad idea in case we do have injuries. And then these other goalies we're just going to hang on to for now. Not going to make any real moves with them. And Tuukka Rask wants $4.4 million. We're going to offer him $4 million for the next 2 years at 37. And now we're going to advance. So let's see what happens here. We get Larson, Yaskin, Hayton rejects. Okay. We get Coronar, Soderstrom rejects, Pavelski rejects, Puljujarvi signs, Sammy Blais signs, Claude Giroux rejects as well. Benson, Capobianco, Tendek, Yannick, Stahl rejects. Tuukka Rask joins. Okay. Kalyachinuk signs, Kirk signs, Lazowski joins the team, same with Kamel, same with Moser resigns, DeMaio joins, Silvegaard joins, Morrissey joins, Kubina joins, Ortiz joins, Potty joins. Alright, so we got everybody except for like our top end kind of guys. And by the looks of it, we very well might be buying out some players here. So, actually, I don't know if we are, because the only guys that didn't sign that I wanted to sign are now just need re-signing. So that being Soderstrom. As much as I want to sign Larson, I don't think we can unless we have, well, we might have the money actually. So, Giroux looking at a $7 million deal for 1 year. We'll offer him $7 million for the next 2. Again, we don't have any like real superstars yet. We'll offer Hayton 6.5. I think that's fair. Let's see. Soderstrom is going to be, I think, 5.5. He's going to be a top 4 defenseman for a long time, so that's actually really good. 4.8 is just way too expensive. I can do like a $4.2 million deal for Larson. That would be the max I'm offering him. Eric Stahl didn't want to join, unfortunately. So, as one of those vets, I would love to keep him around. Pavelski also didn't join. Yaskin didn't join either, so I would like to bring Dmitry Yaskin back, absolutely. Pavelski's questionable, because at 1.5, I don't know if he's really worth paying or not. But we'll offer those, see if these guys sign. Larson rejects, Yaskin joins, Hayton joins, Soderstrom joins, Pavelski joins. Giroux rejects, he doesn't. I want to win now, and I don't think this team has what it takes. What do you mean? We made it to round 2, did fine, except that, what do you call it? Except that Toronto's stacked. They went on to win the cup. We lost to the cup-winning team. That's actually just insane that he's saying that. So I guess we'll do a $7.3 million deal for the next 2 years for Giroux if he actually wants to sign that. And he does sign it. Okay. So I believe he's the highest paid player on our team at this point. No, Tarasenko 7.75. Okay. So we will be moving Tarasenko, which is going to clear up even more cap space. We'll have about $20 million going into the off season here, which is actually really good because guys like Wright, Thorson, Bedard, and so on are really cheap right now still. And you know what? Ortmeyer and Brewer are going to be a sick pairing in the future. I'm really excited for them to play together just because they're going to complement each other so well chemistry-wise. And, well, who else do we even have to sign here? We have the money to offer Larson. I'm going to offer him 2 years at that price. He should take it. If he doesn't, I don't know why he wouldn't. Okay. So now we have a little bit less money, but that's okay. And I don't think we're signing anybody else yet. I think we're good to go. And we could potentially splurge on a more expensive goalie. So that is something we could look into. I think we're going to advance now. I just want to check one more time. Make sure I didn't miss any important expiries because I've done that before. And then we're like, well, shoot, that guy was supposed to be on the team. Yeah, if that's it for expiries, that's fine. For unsigned players, again, I want to hold on to these guys. Jody Ma is going to be probably the guy that we look to move, simply based on his skating as a defensive defenseman is just not good enough. So, all right, I think we're ready now. Let's sim to free agency where we can make some trades. And we got 3 players expiring. That is all good with me. Editing the trade block. Larson's up to what, 82? Yeah, okay, so we're not moving any of these guys necessarily. We're going to look more so into moving guys like Vladimir Tarasenko. Another guy that was of interest for moving was Jody Ma, wherever he is. He's way down here. It's Jody Ma we could move, and then the final guy being Tuukka Rask. Okay, so that's our options. That's what we're running for the trade block. And, well, let's see what we can find. I mean, obviously there's going to be free agents, but we have to make deals here. So we have $10 million. Do we really need more forwards? I would argue we probably don't. Although a guy like Brock Besser looks exciting, I think we need more like power forward kind of style of player over playmakers, and that's what we're going to have to look into. Rathbone, wow, he looks really good. We're not going to be going for him, though. And that's the problem, is there's just not a lot of power forwards in here. So, what about goalies? Because goalies could be potentially interesting. We could try to bring Vanasek back. He was actually really good when he played for us, wasn't he? No, he was not. Never mind. Never mind. He was not that good. Okay. I think we splurge on Samsonov. Bring in a goalie who could be really good. He wants, wow, okay. He wants 8.9. We're going to offer him 8.5 for 6 years. So that goes till he's 33, but goalies can easily play that well until they're 33. So we're going to offer Samsonov a deal. Hopefully we're going to have to trade him eventually for cap reasons, because goalies are going to be growing into that role. That's the ideal situation, but it's not always going to occur. So Patrick Kane is 91 overall still. Oh my goodness. That's actually insane. Apart from that, you know what? There's not a ton of potential in this offseason. So Blake Wheeler's a playmaker? Are you insane? He's 6'5", 225 pounds. He's easily a power forward. Okay, I think that's actually an error on EA's part, not gonna lie. Warren Fogle could actually be a really nice fit too, but you know what? Maybe we offer that and then we go and try to make some salary cap moves here. So 1 year for Fogle, I'm gonna offer it. And now we're going to go make some trades before we advance at all. So let's see what we can find for Tarasenko and Tuukka Rask and potentially Todd Shanahan as well. So for finding a trade, we're going to go over to Toronto first and see what they would potentially like for that prospect defenseman. I'm going to try to throw Jody Ma in a deal here. But when Shanahan is... oh no, he's not that low rated. He's actually looking fairly decent as a prospect. So, what do they want? They want Ortmeyer and Pettersson. Interesting. Okay, nope. Maybe. That's not terrible, but I would offer Tuukka Rask instead. Lazowski, Pettersson Strong. They really want Pettersson. That's what I'm seeing anyway. So, instead of Cal Pettersson, if we can move Tuukka Rask and then bring in Samsonov, I think that's just a better move. It gives Toronto a good goalie, but it also sets up a matchup that's going to be absolutely fantastic. And Tuukka Rask, being drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs, is 100% worth it to go and acquire for them, since they have no goalies at all. But because Toronto's being like this, and they're trying to request a ton of value, we're going to ask for a second rounder too. So that's trade accepted. That's a good deal. Let's go. We move Tuukka Rask and get Shanahan in one move. That's fantastic. So, okay. I know a lot of players did not like that Tuukka Rask got moved. That is what it is. Hopefully, Tarasenko's got some decent value here still. Want to see what we can find. Pyrala, interesting. Very interesting offer there. Dumba and Kulikov's expensive. Nostroza's expensive. I want to see, is this Pyrala guy any good? Because if he is, oh my goodness. If he isn't, well, okay, he's a prospect. So I would assume we're losing this trade by making it, but you never know. He doesn't look that good, to be completely honest. So they're offering a prospect. It's interesting. It's an interesting deal. But it is a cap clearing deal, to be completely fair. Don't get me wrong, Erasmus Dahlin would be real nice. I don't think we're going to get him, but you never know. See, that's the thing, is I just don't think we really need another sniper. I would be more interested in a guy like Enroth instead, who they are actually looking to get rid of, so that's possible. Unfortunately, this team just doesn't look like they got all that much to offer, to be completely honest. So, what do they have for goalies? Sorokin and obviously Luukkonen. That's a lot of money allotted to goalies. Holy, okay. So instead, I want to see if we can get a second rounder from Buffalo. And in exchange, instead of Pyarala, we go with Enroth. I like Enroth more as a prospect. He's a year younger and 7 ratings higher. If that's all we have to, or that if that's what Tarasenko is going to get us, I'm okay with that, especially based on the fact that Enroth was taken 15th overall, which is still a pick ahead of where Tarasenko went. So let's see if that goes through, which it does. And we bring in Lars Enroth on another very interesting deal. The only thing that I kind of wish NHL would add back into their game is conditions. I mean, I say add back. They never actually had it in their game. But for franchise mode, when you're making trades, if you could add conditions onto a trade, that would be so interesting as far as, like, say we trade Vladimir Tarasenko. We say, okay, if Tarasenko scores 40 goals or more for Buffalo in the upcoming season, our second round pick turns to a first round from Buffalo. Things like that. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that. But I don't think that's actually going to happen ever. I would love to see EA implement that, but now that that's all done, we cleared up a ton of cap space. There's no question about it. And now we can advance, and hopefully we'll see some deals go through here. To be fair, the offseason has actually turned out pretty nicely for us. And we get Warren Foegele. Are we going to get Ilya Samsonov? And we do. Okay, so this team is without a doubt a contender. At this point, when we look at the progress reports, it's like, oh my goodness gracious. Such a solid team. We just haven't quite had the top end growth yet to really develop some star players, but you'll look at our center core, like, oh my goodness. It's so nice, and this system has got players too. It's got more than enough really good centers. The left wing, even in the system, again, looks really good. In the NHL, it's stacked. There's no question about that. Right wingers, Jesse Puljujarvi, Thorson, Pavelski, again, really solid. Defensively, that's top six defensemen. And of course, we have guys like Brewer, who Brewer's going to be in the team. Don't get me wrong. We will be bringing Brewer up. And then guys like Shanahan and Bouwmeester are also going to be playing here in the next season or two, most likely. Hopefully guys like Pavel Semin and Marvin Strong can actually develop. And of course, Gabriel Morrissey too hasn't really grown at all, unfortunately. For elite goalies further down in the system, we've got Lindholm and Georgievich. I'm really excited to see what he can do. If he can really grow into that bona fide number one goalie. And of course, we got an elite and a starting goalie in the NHL. They should be fantastic as well. So now that that is done, the only other thing that you guys wanted to see was you wanted to see Brendan Dillon. I don't know if I entirely agree with that as to where he is either or how much he's going to cost. Because if he's a lot of money, I don't know if we bring him in. But if he's like $3 million or so, I would say that's probably not a bad deal. But I also don't know if we really need any more defense right now. He is actually unsigned. He wants almost $4 million at 33 years old. I think our defense is good enough at that point that we probably don't have to offer him a deal. But I also want to see how much cap space we still have here. So 9.7 mil. That's a lot. Okay, so I think without a doubt we can go out and get Brendan Dillon, even if he doesn't really play a lot in our team. He's going to want... Where is he? There he is. He only wants 2.8 million, so that's actually not bad. The only position I was looking at that we might want to actually look into here, we'll offer $3 million in the next couple of years, but the only other position I was kind of looking at was maybe right wingers. And with right wingers, you know, there's opportunity for guys to step in here. I don't know if a 5-year deal is that great. I think a guy like Radulov would be a lot more exciting to watch. especially if we start tossing him on the third line kind of thing, and we will offer him $6 million to come back as just a Quebec kind of legend, obviously a Remparts legend, but still, that was from quite a few comments ago. I'll try to pull that one back up on screen if I can. But yeah, if we can get Dylan and Radulov in, I think this team is without a doubt one of the most likely contending teams in the entire NHL. We get Brendan Dillon, and we do get Alexander Radulov. Oh my goodness, this team's going to be stacked. And the best part is we're going to be able to potentially grow some guys in the system too, as they will get opportunity and time to play and all that good stuff. So I can't remember where the other comment was. I got to find it. But there was 100% another comment here on, it was an early video, but let me see if I can find it. Okay, so the final comment here that actually applies properly came from Mark B, saying, just found out your video on your channel, looking to see some of the rest of the franchise. Great jerseys. It's different than the blue and white. And the arena, though, you should have gone with all blue seats and style number 6. I have been to the Videotron Center myself to see the Quebec Remparts in the QMJHL. Also, the Nordiques had a mascot named Bada Boom, which we did end up doing. It's not exactly the replica mascot, but, you know, we named him Bada Boom still. So, he said, great video. Anyway, I liked, and like I said, looking forward to see the full franchise. So, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. And because of that, we are going to go in and we are going to customize the Videotron Center to exactly what you said, which I think is going to be fantastic. So let's go through here. Let's not spend too much on this, but he said seats should have been all blue. He said all blue seats with style 6. I don't know if we have style 6. I don't think we can even afford this right now, actually. So we can just do all blue seats. That's not a problem. And then we'll change this one too, so they are all blue. That's not a big deal, but yeah, that does look really good actually. So I don't know what he was saying for style number 6, if that's the base architecture, like this one maybe, if it loads. Also, we didn't, that's the thing, is that if this loads, which it might not, okay, there you go. That's going to cost us $100 million, I believe. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit expensive. I don't know if we can do that just simply based on the fact that we have a budget and we are playing on, we are playing with owner mode on, so that does make things a little more difficult. And one more thing I was going to show you guys, just team rankings and sales wise, we didn't do too fantastic, to be completely honest. Not just in the last 7 days, but just revenue generated in general. We've kind of been meh. We're not in a great spot. We're not in a terrible spot. 19th overall. So we're ranked 17th on national popularity and 27th on team prestige. So yeah, I mean, we're not doing terrible to be frank, but we're also not doing great. So anyways, now that we're done that, we can sim to the next season, get the team set up, see how it's looking, do some roster moves, and go from there. Alright guys, so for our goals for this upcoming season, they want us to see within $1.5 million of the player's salary budget, so we get it close there, at least get it to $88.397 million. They want us to finish first in our conference, and our concession needs an upgrade by 1 level, so that's all easy stuff. Stretch goals, we need to upgrade parking lot by 1 level as well, so that's easy. But now we get to take a look at the team. Alright, so the team's starting to shape up here, but I don't want to make any hasty moves yet based on the fact that, well, for captains, I think we're going to stick with Chychrun. I'm really liking how the team's performed under him so far, and I think we can go even farther this year, but I think Shane Wright, even though he didn't have a great season last year, I think he really showed some leadership, so I think we are going to give him an alternate captain too, and I think Bedard's next in line, there's no question about that, but we'll see what happens here. We got lots of defensive prospects on the way up, and a guy like Morgan Riley and Jacob Larson are probably next for moves that we'll potentially see out of the team. But as far as roster moves go, we currently have this absolutely amazing defenseman named Byron Brewer sitting in the system, which doesn't work for me. He should be in the NHL, and I have no question about that, to be completely honest. Other guy I want to bring up would be, I want to say it's Ortiz, but I think we give him a year. He's playing on the Rangers. He's playing on Sudbury. So the other guy I'm going to bring up is Sammy Blais, and in exchange, we have some scratch players here. We don't have any weak scratch players. We have lots of good players, but I honestly think Brendan Dillon is the guy that we scratch. It doesn't feel right to have him in the team, in my opinion, and he doesn't actually fit the system well either. So that's why we're going to make those moves. Apart from that, we're going to have to get Brewer into the team. He is easily going to be one of the main staples of our lineup, especially over a guy like Connor Timmins, as Timmins is not playing in a spectacular spot right now, and at 25, turning 26 coming up here, he could be on the way out too. So anyways, Byron Brewer doesn't actually fit that well, which is annoying, and he would improve our defense significantly in other positions. So I'm just wondering how we're going to do this. Come on, man. Of course Larson's not going to fit. Okay, so I don't actually think we can improve the defense too much more than where it's at right now, apart from, of course, playing Brewer further up. But he's got to develop. That's the thing, is he had tons of ice time last year. He only put up 14 points, had lots of penalty minutes, decent amount of ice time, everything like that. So I don't know why he didn't do better. So we're going to give him one more shot here in the NHL. Hopefully he can figure it out playing in a top 6 role, because that's where he's meant to play right now. We could, see, that doesn't quite work either. I don't like how that looks. So as much as I want to play Ortmeyer low, I think he's actually going to be a way better defenseman than a lot of people are realizing, and I think he'll make a serious impact with this team. Apart from that, we got most of the special teams figured out. The only thing I want to improve on is the PK, but Brewer's in there, so that should be doing better than it is. We can go like that, give Soderstrom the plus one bump. Ortmeyer should not be in there. It should definitely be Larson instead. Okay, that's good to go. Give that a +2, balance it out a little more. Okay, I'm all right with that. So I really do like how this team is looking. I think it's got a ton of potential. And Shane Wright's our third option. Interesting. Okay. I think I actually want to go Wright and Bedard playing together, and then instead put Barrett Hayton in here as our other option. So yeah, we'll do that. That looks absolutely stacked. Keller and Chychrun are our 2 best players, and yeah, that looks really solid. So that's the team. That's how we're looking. If you want to go through and pause, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for you to do that, but this is the team we're going to be rocking with for the upcoming season. I'm sure we'll make some tweaks and changes as the calendar year goes on, but man, this team looks exciting. I think Bedard and Wright are going to absolutely light it up this year. I think they have a good chance. Let's see, Cirelli, he's 6'4". Okay, so Trenton Cirelli is going to be probably an amazing player. Seems to be a lot more defense in this draft this year early on anyway, so it'll be an interesting one. We get another Dvorak there. Interesting. Wojtek Dvorak. And where is the best goalie in this draft? They're at 29. David Crane, maybe? I don't know how you'd say it, but yeah, there's some goalies ranked extremely high again this year. I'm very interested to see what they can do, but I think that's where we're going to be wrapping it up. I want to hear your guys' suggestions for anything else you'd like to see improved with this team. I am super excited. I think we will get to some contract extensions this upcoming year based on the fact that guys like Shane Wright and Jacob Chychrun are going to be expiring. And I'm sure we've got others that are, Thorson, Radulov. Well, Radulov and Fogle are question marks at the moment. But yeah, even a guy like Connor Timmins, players like that, there's definitely going to be some guys expiring this upcoming year. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss these episodes. And of course, go check out my hockey merch at Yard Sale Hockey there. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.